Well, I think hats off to, first of all, to FIU and for winning the game, and from our standpoint of things, we have a saying in our program that you don't get bitter, you just get better, and that's what our young football team is faced with this offseason. We're not going to let this thing ruin our spirit and ruin our confidence moving forward, but we have to make sure that we learn the lessons from games like this, whatever those lessons may be after we look at the videotape that teaches some tough things. As far as the week goes and the trip that was here, awesome experience for our kids to get out of the country and play a football game at a beautiful place. And like I mentioned before, the incredible hospitality from everybody involved with this bowl game and the people that put it on. We're going to say goodbye to the 13 really rock solid senior guys that went through a lot in their time here as Rockets. They went through a coaching change and won a MAC championship. They've been bowl eligible every year they've been here. Some guys 4 years, some guys 5 years. These guys have given a lot to our program and given a lot to the Rockets, and my hat's off to them because these are guys that I believe further in life are going to be really successful in whatever they decide to do, whether that has a chance to continue their football career or not. These guys are real men, and these guys are going to make an impact in society. And at the end of the day, we're judged by wins and losses, but ultimately if you can get that right, I think you got a real chance. So a lot to be thankful for and happy for, and a lot of things to get better at and move forward for sure.
Jason, ultimately when you look back on this season, what will you take away, you think?
Well, obviously it's been an up and down year. It's had its highlights and it's had its moments where we weren't so good. Consistency is everything in college football. You're a couple plays away in every game to be 10 or 11 wins, and you're a couple plays away in a couple other games to being 5 and 7. That's college football, and our players have to learn a valuable lesson that in a society where everything is instant gratification and everything is promote the good and hide the bad. Life is not a highlight tape. You got to watch the bad plays too, and life is not about what goes on Twitter and retweets and likes and all of that. Like, life's hard. College football is difficult, and the consistency of what you play with and the consistency of who you are as people, it gets magnified at the Division I level, and it will expose you. So you have to be really consistent. You have to be really good at what you do for the long haul. And at times this year, I didn't think we handled that very well. So I would like I said, what to specifically say, what do we take away? A lot of good and a lot of bad, and a lot of things we got to work on to get better at.
What was wrong in that final drive that they had, conversions that FIU had to essentially seal the game?
We didn't tackle them. We didn't stop them. I'd have to go back and look at the videotape to tell you exactly what's wrong, but they pick up a 4th down there, and you get them stopped and you let them out. We just don't get the guy tackled and get him on the ground, and there it is. That's the story. But a lot of plays before that where we were just okay and just average in our assignments, and shouldn't get to that point in time, but it did, and we didn't make the plays when we needed to.
Both of you guys, according to it first, just kind of what was the feeling like walking off the field there for the last time?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm still kind of soaking it all in. It's going to be tough. Never been able to really put a Toledo Rocket jersey on again, but this group of guys that I'm going out with, and I know I left it all out on the field tonight. I didn't play my best game ever, but I know I left it out there for these guys, and it's tough, but I've had an amazing ride here. I wouldn't change anything about my story. It's kind of shaped me to who I am today, and these amazing coaches and the staff here has been amazing, and I just thank them for everything they've done for me.
It was emotional. It's been a great 4 or 5 years. It didn't go the way we wanted, but we learned a lot of lessons along the way, and the staff has been incredible. My teammates have been incredible. Leave it all out for them, and you hope that the lessons that we get to go through this season can help them in their next season and their futures.
Richard, how disappointing was it knowing that you had your opportunities for stops to give the ball back to your offense that late?
Yeah, it's disappointing. You want to get off the field and get another chance, but it is what it is.
Jason, with James Morgan not playing, I know Christian Alexander didn't play a full lot. How much tape did you see, and how did that news yesterday change your guys' playing defensively?
Well, you're not going to totally change your plan based off of a quarterback decision that's made a day before the game. Obviously we saw the hit in the last game, and obviously you had some question marks whether he would play or not, and kind of leaves some things out, up in the air a little bit until game time or when you find out who the guy is actually going to be. But, give the kid credit. Came in and led his team and put him in some positions to be successful and didn't play out of character. He played within his offense and, hit the receiver's hands when he had to. And some of his guys on the perimeter made some plays and won their one-on-one battles. So it gave him a chance to be successful. And, I think the key thing there is, too, is, they did a good job of staying ahead of the sticks for the majority of the game, other than a couple drives. And when you're able to play in second and short and third and short because you're productive on first down, it makes the job for a backup quarterback much easier. That's for sure.
Jason, do you feel like there are some, talk about the last drive, do you feel like there were some other missed opportunities, whether it's a fumble, deep in their territory, or not picking up a fumble, or just stuff like that throughout the game, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, those things happen through the course of the game. You love to, Bryant does not put the ball on the ground very often, if ever. It's a tough play. It's one that you can't take back. You wish you had a score there, but I'm sure that on the opening kickoff of the game, their guy would like to have that ball back too. Turnovers are killer. There are big-time momentum swings throughout the course of a football game, and you want to have less of them than the other team at the end of the day. But there's a few plays like that in the first half. There's a few in the third quarter that stick out that, in my head, that were scratch your head type of plays that you hope you make, but you just didn't.
What's priority one for you this offseason now?
Well, that's a good question. I think everything is fair to be evaluated, and as it is all after last year too. I mean, it is every year, but we have to really do a good job of understanding how our fundamentals throughout the course of a season, and not just the beginning of the season, will be relied upon. On the discipline of our football team when it's in those white lines. And listen, we're academically, what we do in the community, all of those things are direct indicators of what we are as a football team. But we got to reproduce that, who we are off the field. We got to continue to reproduce that on the field as well. I mean, some of these silly penalties throughout the course of this season, jumping off sides, self-inflicted things, like championship football teams don't do that. And I'll be damned if a team that I'm going to coach is going to roll like that.
What do you think that flight's going to be like this year?
Say it again.
What do you think that flight's going to be like in the next hour or so?
Well, hopefully it lands. What's your flight going to be like?
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.